Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We review anything and everything. And today we are getting into this Amaran. I have the message up here, or the sticker up here is upside down from the branding here. Sorry about that. That's just the way it was packaged. But this is the Amaran Lantern 65 inch or the Amaran Lantern 65. It's a 2-foot lantern. Now this is for studio lighting, photography, that type of stuff. Let me turn it this way so we can see the heading of the package on here. Okay, so I purchased this because I recently was upgrading my lighting system, and it'll probably be a little while before I actually even utilize this, to be honest with you, because I got to get everything set up with new lights that I just recently reviewed on the channel. But just wanted to be able to show this to you guys, and obviously if you guys are interested in this, link's going to be in the description down below for you guys to purchase this. Now, I did not catch this on sale. I was hoping it was going to be on sale for the Prime Day, and it actually wasn't. There were a couple other brands that were, but this one wasn't. Now this, I want to say that this goes for about $80, roughly in that price range. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with this, it comes with a nice little carrying case, the brand Amaran, which is pretty popular within the beginner to like semi-pro level, as far as just getting in photo equipment in general. Amaran is a sub-brand of the company Aperture, and it's spelled like Aperture, like that, even though it sounds, at least the way they pronounce it, is like aperture, like the photo element. Now, I'm going to have to stretch this out a bit. The view. Sorry for any unsightly things that enter the camera's view. Now, the way this works is this has a Bowens mount, and that's what this is called, and that fits on the two lights that you saw me recently review or unbox, which was the Amaran 150C and the Amaran 60X. It will fit on both of those, which are part of the company as this. Now, the way it works when you want to open it up is, let me see how I'm going to close it after the fact. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you, how it gets closed. So before I open it up, I want to make sure that I'll know how to close it. And I'm really not too sure. So I might end up having to look at the instructions after the fact. Normally, you push it straight down, and let me try that. I was gonna try to just do it behind the camera and do it like that. That's not gonna work, so I'm gonna have to go a little overhead, and we're gonna push it down. When you push it straight down, hold on. Supposed to go straight down, and to be honest, I think it's supposed to hook on. Okay, I see it. There's a spot that it hooks on inside there, and this is how it goes, to the best of my knowledge. I hope that I have this on correctly, and that it's, because it feels definitely a little bit tight one-sided, but hopefully that's just how it goes. But if you look down there, that hook, I hooked it around that little loop. So that is how it stays. And so when I push down, in theory, I should be able to push straight down, take it off that latch, and then it comes back up just like this. Though I do hope that these elastic strings don't end up losing themselves in any way, meaning that they come apart, because then this whole thing would be broken. So I hope that's not something that's fragile. But that's essentially how this thing goes. And this right here, the purpose of this when it comes to the whole lighting and how it works as a lantern is, it's obviously a softbox. It's part within that category of being a softbox. And essentially this one creates a big, almost like onion type of shape, which you obviously seen. And it's supposed to disperse light all around the room. Whereas your traditional softbox or even dome box, which is still considered a softbox, but you have the ones that are square or rectangular. You also have the ones that are circular, like a half full circle. Those are more focused. And then you can make them even more focused by adding like what's called, like, I'm gonna call it like a waffle grid. I don't know if that's its proper name, but and you would add that to it, and that makes it more focused. This one, on the other hand, is really to kind of light up the entire room. So when I purchased this, my intention was to buy this one, and then I bought a regular softbox to go hand in hand with the two lights that I just reviewed. The only thing is that I did end up getting, and I'm gonna unbox that one in a little bit, a dome that's about 2 feet, so it's comparable in the same size as this. But my original setup I was gonna go with was the dome and then this one. So the dome one can be for my key light, which is the light that kind of focuses on your face up front, and then a kind of like backlight or edge light or whatever you wanna call it, using the dome here. Now, the lantern. Now the lantern, like I said, kind of really lights up the entire room. So if you have a bright enough light and you have it in the right position, it could almost simulate like the sun lighting up the room. You know what I mean? Like if you have like a window lighting up the room. The only difference is you have to probably orientate it correctly to make it feel like it's coming from the windows. And it probably what will be a good thing with that is that if you normally get light inside a room of yours, that you normally have light come inside the room from a certain window, if you probably could put this in that same direction, but when it's dark outside, it would probably still simulate a similar feeling to sunlight coming everywhere in the room. And that's kind of what it does. And then obviously you could have your key light just kind of really put a little bit more strength into lights on a certain side of maybe the face to still give shadow, but while everything still feels well lit. So that's the point of this. So I definitely would recommend it. I can't really speak to say it's my first time having a level of light kit of this level. I will maybe later in the comments or do a follow-up to try to say if I feel that this is a good place for a beginner to have a regular softbox and then a lantern. That's what I went with, because in my mind and in my vision, I have the idea, like I do like a whole well-lit bright room, especially if your room is not super big that you're gonna be filming, and then filming in, I should say, and then you have the main key light or the main light behind your regular softbox to kind of really emphasize the subject while still having the entire room be well lit, because that way you don't have harsh shadows in the background unless you're looking for that. But obviously they usually say having a 2 light combination or a 3-point light combination is usually kind of interchangeable, however you want to do it in regards to a setup, whether you're shooting yourself for content creation, or obviously if you're going to do something like photos. And I think that's also cool too, having these kind of lights in these setups if you're just doing regular photos in the environment. So I definitely recommend it. Should it be one of your first setups that you get, as I previously recommended from the other video that I did of the unboxing of the Amaran 60XS, I would say that a good start off setup, if someone's going into that field, whether it could just be photography, maybe you aren't trying to do any kind of video work, but you just want to have a little studio setup and whatever, I would recommend maybe 2 of those lights, because they're a little bit more cost efficient. They're not as expensive as the 150 and you don't really need that power. But then 2, I would almost say that a lantern like this plus a softbox would probably be a very good combination. Do a little bit more research just to make sure, but I definitely think that combination is a very interesting combination. A lot of people sometimes do just 2 soft boxes, which is also good too, but that makes everything a lot more focused. And I almost feel like having a really nice lantern that you have it on high power and bright, you're gonna have the whole backdrop lit, plus the foreground is going to be somewhat lit, but then you want to differentiate the two from the background. The foreground, you have that second light, that's your key light, that's really emphasizing the person's face with a more brighter light. So that way it's a little bit more brighter than the background. And I definitely would recommend that even for photography. So this maybe be a good option for you just starting off. So hopefully, maybe so, if you decide that, I say follow up with do a little bit more research on your own, but definitely this seems to be a great option. And I like the whole quick setup and quick takedown, because some of these type of softboxes are a pain in the butt to get set up. So I just want to throw it out there. And as always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.